I know, but we should have.
You know where he was born? Brooklyn, right there. Look out the window.
I'm fully
That's
aware.
where Michael was born.
I'm fully aware. He didn't give a damn about that when it came to going up against us.
Spike, I've always loved seeing you courtside, not just at Knicks games, but also at Liberty games. But when it comes to this squad, this iteration of the New York Knicks, who do you think outside of Jalen Brunson is someone that you gravitate towards that can be an X factor?
OG or Josh Hart. But I'm the only one at this table, this esteemed table that was at the Garden May 8th, 1970. I was 13 years old. I was there. 13 years old. My father's lawyer had season tickets.
That's right.
And he would give me tickets during the season. And he says, Spike, if the series goes 7 games, you can go. I saw Willis drag his right foot out. Another thing I'd like to say, I've been to World Cups, Super Bowls. I've never heard a noise as loud when Willis dragged his leg onto that court. And he didn't come out with everybody because back then the needles were like this. So it takes a while for the drug go. And so both teams were doing the layups. And the entire Laker team froze. We're talking about Will Chamberlain, Jerry West, Elgin Baylor, and the rest of the team. They froze when they heard that noise and turned around.
And watched
saw Willis drag his leg
Yes.
to the free throw line where his first left-handed, his first 2 shots.
That's right.
And then the game, his first 2 shots.
That's right.
Now, Walt Frazier has a different thing. Walt Frazier was
That's all they needed. Walt Frazier took care of the rest.
But he still says he says it lovingly, but it just wasn't. Why is it called the Willis Reed game?
That's right. I'm just saying, it's moments, man. It's moments.
I hope none of the current Knicks is watching this because you're just piling it on. You're piling it on.
Why would you hope? Why would you hope that? You don't want them to embrace the moment?
They got to be confident in thinking that they're going to win tonight's game. This isn't about 1970. This is about 2025.
I totally agree with that, but here's the flip side. There's nothing wrong with embracing urgency. Pressure breaks pipes. What are you made of? What are you made of? Boston showed us in Game 5 they ain't going out like that. We the reigning defending champions. You think you coming into our house with all these Irish pubs everywhere?
Without Tatum,
without Tatum. I don't give a damn we don't have Tatum. You know who we are, and they answered the call. Now it's the New York Knicks' turn. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't nothing wrong with that, Wendy.
So I'm curious then, as 2 people that have seen multiple decades of Knicks basketball, where would you grade this current squad? Because Stephen A is full of anxiety, but I feel like this is a team that has been embraced not just for New York. I'm a basketball fan, and I love what they built off of chemistry.
Agree.
Leon Rose.
I'll let you answer that first. I'll let you answer that first, because I got my answer. You go ahead and say it first. You go and say what you going to say.
Ask me if the Knicks going to win.
You just said the Knicks are going to win.
Ask me if
the Knicks going to win.
Is the Pope Catholic? Did the Pope go to Villanova?
Hey,
I can leave right now. I can leave.
There's some anointing now for you guys.
Energy.
There's some anointing happening over there.
I'm just going to tell you, Jalen Brunson smiled. Jalen Brunson smiled. This is going to calm everybody down. The other night, I don't even know if it was on the broadcast, but on the scoreboard, the game was over. They're at a timeout late in the game. Jalen Brunson.
When you talk about in Boston?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Jalen Brunson had fouled out. Jalen Brunson never smiles. He scores 45, he doesn't smile. He hits the game winner, doesn't smile. They put him on the scoreboard in Boston so the fans could boo him.
He waved it.
He smiled at him. Don't you worry about tonight. Jalen Brunson smiled at him. Chill out, buddy.
He's amazing.
I am not worried about Jalen Brunson. I have all the belief in the world
there he is.
that he is going to show up. I think you're missing it. Let me answer your question. Let me get deep here because it's going to hurt. You don't have to say this. I'm going to say this. I'm going to say this. The Knicks have an opportunity to change my mind tonight. But I have watched them. And I veered back to normalcy when they won games 1 and 2 in Boston because I did not expect that. With Tatum on the court, with Brown on the court, and they went up 2-0 after 20-point deficits in both games. But I have to tell you, I have spent the vast majority of this season wishing Hartenstein, Randall, and DiVincenzo was still on this team. Because I saw the grit in the New York Knicks last year. And if Brunson doesn't get hurt and Hart doesn't get hurt, okay, I believe the Knicks are in the conference finals last year. I don't believe they lose that Game 7 at home to Indiana.
Fair enough.
Okay, so I'm thinking about that and what they would have been. They would have had more bodies. They would have been more physical, and they would have been more gritty defensively. And because of that, I have spent the vast majority of this season wishing that was the case. Now, when they went in Boston, I'm like, wait a minute here. I'm seeing something. All right. And then obviously Game 4, after losing Game 3, I love that. Okay. Then they get blown out in Game 5. Tonight's the night. I understand there's a Game 7, but my mentality is there is no tomorrow.
Yes.
Take them out now. Right now.
Let me tell you this, though. It might be, we might see our guys in the finals.
I agree. That's what I'm trying to say. If you win the night,
it changes your mind.
If you win the night, and listen, I think if you get pushed into a Game 7, it's too much. You're expending too much in a Tom Thibodeau system. I believe you got to end it quick. You got to take them out.
Tonight.
You got to take them out
Tonight. In the garden.
Tonight.
Well, there is a realistic chance, and I didn't want to ask this question, but Stephen A. told me I need to. So listen, there is a realistic chance. You got 2 games to win 1. Maybe you do have to go to a Game 7, and you got to go back to Boston. If that is the case, where are the feelings at?
We're winning tonight.
We're winning tonight.
Okay. I didn't even want to ask, but I said, why are we focusing on the Knicks?
That's the answer.
He said, I was
Is that the answer?
too many times.
They're man
Orange and blue skies.
We're winning.
Say it again. Say it
Orange and
again.
blue skies. Orange and blue skies. Listen, we're winning. We're winning tonight. That is the answer to that question.
Okay.
They're winning tonight.
He
Now
is
let me ask
all
this
over
question.
the place.
No, I know
He
he
is-
is.
I've never
Negative
seen
this
him.
morning. We've turned the
I've
page.
never
I'm
seen him
happy
like
about
this.
that. I want to ask Spike this question because he's here. About a month ago, Jay Will was on, I think, Get Up, and he said that he thinks Jalen Brunson is on his way to being one of the greatest Knicks of all time.
He's
I think he already is.
Greatest
Ever?
One of.
Oh, yes.
He already is.
So greatest Knicks. Do you agree with that statement?
Willis, Clyde, Bernard King from the time he was there, and Carmelo. Yeah, I think he's our guy. He's putting the whole team on his shoulders. And going back to what you said, my brother, about that smile.
So you,
Boston's not ready for it tonight.
You snapped right to and you said, what was it, May what, 1970?
May 8th, 1970.
You remember it. Today's May 16th, 2025.
55 years.
Jalen Brunson maybe makes you remember May 16th.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something right now. If Jalen Brunson
No if.
propels New York to the championship, he's top 3 Knicks.
Oh, I
all
forgot.
time.
I left out
Top three.
Patrick, too. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
He's top.
Patrick, I'm sorry.
No. We love Patrick. You know,
I
good seeing him
left
another
him
day.
out.
Good seeing him another day. But here's the point. Here's the
elbow
point.
tonight.
Here's the point. It's if championship is the requirement, of course, because Walt, Clyde, Frazier, and those cats, you can't usurp them when they're the ones that last deliver this championship. But Jalen Brunson, in terms of his play, clutch play of the year, clutch play in the playoffs, by the way, backed it up.
Yep.
Has arrived in New York, okay, and has just taken over. The brother is special, all right? So he's already one of the all-time great Knicks. But if, first of all, he gets to the conference finals, that's more than any modern-day Knick has done. More than any modern-day Knick has done. And if you win the championship, that would be more than Ewing has done.
But also,
That would be more-
he's got to go out there with Aaron Judge as far as New York City.
No doubt. But listen, here's the thing, and this is the other thing. Because I'll give you a perfect example. Anybody that loves the Knicks, that knows anything about the Knicks, reveres Bernard King. We know injuries derailed that brother because he was something spectacular.
Where's he from?
But he was a
Where's he
one-man
from?
wrecking crew.
Brooklyn out the window.
He was a one-man wrecking
point to your
crew.
head.
Okay? One-man wrecking crew. But obviously couldn't accomplish with so much. Okay, when we think the most successful Knicks, after you get past Walt, Clyde, Frazier, Earl of Pearl, Monroe, DeBusschere, Bradley, and all of these cats,